I think today is about oversharing. I'll be drinking this coffee, going with Sophie at the vet, and I was helping a friend film himself for TikTok. Everyone wants to be a TikToker. Everyone wants to be a TikToker. It's funny how people would rather start social media than learn sales, even though I told him and some other friends, like, look, it's much easier if you make an event, if you find a coffee shop and you just throw an event with 5 or 6 people and promote that event a bit and get the people in there, say it's limited people only, and say it's an introduction event, and you get 5 people, 6 people, and out of those, if you do it every week, out of those, it's impossible to get, it's impossible to not get 4 or 5 clients. Much easier to throw a free event, talk for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then start a discussion with people and already teach them how the process works than to build a social media audience, because most people, from what I've seen, most sales on social media is 1 in 100, or depends on the audience you have, but it's between, and the product that you're selling, but it's between 1 in 100 or 5 in 100. So between 1% and 5% of your audience will, depending on how you um, get to measure that, but because you can measure it by followers or you can measure it by the number of people who saw that piece of content that points to the product. So it's not such a big number. You get, if to get to 5 people, you need 100, and it's very hard to get 100. Plus, it's not instant. Most people who are making videos and get 30, 40 views, it doesn't mean that if they make 3 videos, they are going to get a client. No. You still have to have a bit of credibility, a bit of just showing up in people's feed, which is very hard at the beginning. But if they get the exposure to you directly onto an event when you are in a coffee shop and you talk about the things that you are doing and you explain and you then shut up and listen and start conversations, people are going to give you a lot of details that you need to know about what you are doing. And this way you understand, you don't have to make it's basically jumping all of the hoops that you needed to jump, and to get a, like, 5 people into a room, it's very easy, especially if you make the event on social media. People are constantly searching for new events, especially free ones around them. They are constantly searching because they want something that is organized. They don't want to just go out at a bar or at a coffee shop. They feel like that is boring. So if they go to a coffee shop and there is someone speaking there, then that's awesome. And there are so many Starbuckses that can let you do this. You don't have to ask for permission. Like, there was this, I've learned this because, well, but for 2 reasons. But then I was thinking of the fact that, oh, that's how they did it. So I've learned this from a book and also from retrospectively looking at how a pyramid scheme was making sales. It was exactly where from the Starbucks I was working in, because I was having taking my laptop and working from that coffee shop. Um there were at the second floor of the Starbucks where I was sitting with my laptop. There were like 30 people just constantly bringing, well, about six people constantly bringing more and more people just to pitch them. And I was like, this is a scam. I've been I've been listening to your pitch for like hours and hours, and I was also listening to how you talk amongst yourself, and I was like, no, no, this is a pyramid scheme. And yeah, it was interesting to notice that. So they were doing introduction events to their MLM, multi-level marketing, also known as a pyramid scheme with multiple steps. And it was a travel agency MLM where they would give you points to get lower prices on vacations if you recruited people. And it was travel the world if you recruit your friends to recruit other friends. And Jesus. And they would sell overpriced vacations. So even if they gave a discount, it would be bad. And it was, they would have you talk on a laptop with someone else that was like from another, well, living in another country and pretending like they were on vacation during the weekend. So basically, let's say that you have a relative that goes to Spain. This was genius because it's always the same person, always the same. They have a one person that shares the call, and they were talking on Zoom with this person who was supposedly on vacation, and they were on the beach with their phone, and they would call them just so they have proof that someone is on vacation. It's genius. And that person was actually paid to sit on the beach. They would live in, for instance, Spain, and they would just go on the beach and sit there and talk to hundreds of people, getting called all the time to just talk on the phone through video to make the sales. Oh my God, such a scheme. The there is there is so much of you elaborate these schemes are so elaborate to take your money. That's incredible how much deliberation it takes to get you to buy something. And funny thing is, they don't. Most people who act in this scheme, they are themselves scammed because they do all of this work for the promise, and that they think, oh, I'm not gonna get scammed from these people because I know about all the scams that they're doing, but I'm gonna get paid. No, you're not. You're just doing free work. Anyways, let's go back to the introduction events. It's a concept from a guy. I don't know if he's. I haven't. I just read a few pages of his book. I didn't read it all. I just read whatever interested me. It's called Key Person of Influence. priestly something. And I don't know if he's like a good person. I don't like to give my thoughts on a person if I just found out about them. Like, there's been so many times where I recommended someone to someone else, like a influencer or a writer or a whatever you want to call them, and then it turned out later to be just a awful person, that person, and I was like, okay. And then I saw it, as in I started to see it. The other person didn't notice it. They still like the other person, the influencer. He's not an influencer. He's just a whatever public figure and writer and whatever else. And I was kind of sad because I introduced the person to that philosophy, let's say. And later down the line, I saw through the veil that the person was bad and a bad influence as well. And I started to see that. And then other people started to make content about how awful they are. And yeah, that's bad. So I don't like to give other people at first hand when I discover someone to give them a recommendation because maybe they're not so great. So introduction events are important and they are just they get people out of their house. And thing is, when you get someone out of their house, you get to there's a thing called um how is it called? I forgot. It's a bias. It's a when you buy into something and sunk cost fallacy. It's a fallacy. Sunk cost fallacy. When you get them out of their house and you get them to listen to you to for 20 minutes and then you get them to do whatever else at the event, they want to get their money's worth back. And plus, they feel if they have a good experience, they feel as if you gave them something because you gave them an introduction to something. So that's exactly how you end up getting someone to buy. And you can invite them to more and more events, even if they are not done by you. Or if you do one every week, just invite them over if they have the potential to be a client. You don't have to pay anything because it's a coffee shop. They can order themselves. They can take something from or if they don't want, they just don't drink anything. Speaking of coffee, I just finished mine. It's not that late, which is beautiful. I have some blended clementines and oranges, which is very nice. I'm devouring some fructose and vitamins and fibers. I went to the vet with Sophie. She has a dermatitis due to some kind of allergy. She's fine. She's just she's not in any pain. The only time she's in pain is when I spray the ointment on her. She pretends like it hurts. I tested it on myself. It doesn't hurt. But she's a diva, a diva. She's a, oh no, you sprayed me. Sorry about the clickbait. She's not sick. She has just an allergy to something. Maybe the snake. She ate a dead snake. Well, she didn't eat it, but I noticed her after she had it in her mouth. We went to my father's place in the countryside, and she found a dead snake. It was like this, and it was just a husk, just a dried out snake. And she grabbed the snake, and I took it out of her mouth and put it on the fire, burning the snakes. Yes, welcome to Eastern Europe, where we barbecue snakes. I made a beautiful painting, and I think I'm going to, well, I'm definitely gonna go to sleep earlier. I need to go to sleep earlier because tomorrow I need to go to the vet in the morning. I hate having alarms, but I'm gonna have to put an alarm at 11 o'clock. I know. First world problem. I have to wake up at 11 and I'm bitching about it. So, yeah, 11 o'clock is gonna be my wake up alarm tomorrow. Usually I wake up at around 1 or 2. So, but I get to sleep very, very late and work until very, very late. So I'm not, I tend to become more active at around 6 o'clock in the afternoon. So that's why I'm so messed up with my sleep schedule. But I manage. I have blackout curtains in the bedroom. So even if there is blazing sun outside, I can sleep comfortably. Comfortably. I butchered that word completely. Comfortably. Blah, blah, blah. I seem to be unable to English. It's because of the oranges. I'm telling you, it's because of the oranges. I haven't yet started on the commission, even though I was supposed to finish it a week ago. But I still have about a week until I need to deliver it. So it has to dry as well. So 3 or 4 days until it dries as well. The most entertaining thing to watch someone drink a smoothie. A smoothie. I am smoothie. Yeah. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna transfer the files, edit the footage, post it, and go to bed. I should be cleaning because I've started so many projects that my house is an entire mess of a house right now. And yeah, see you tomorrow.